Yo, what up? It's about that time. I don't want to be the purveyor of false news, but man, I hope what I just saw about Angie Stone ain't true. But um, man, that would be sad if it was. But we're not gonna focus on that at the moment. I hope everybody had a great morning. A lot of y'all came on your favorite platform and you've been banging on bacon. And I want to talk. And I'm sincere about that. I really want to talk. I don't want to take nobody back in. I'm not here to um, ostracize, criticize, or just defecate on anybody over the last 48 to 72 hours. That's not my mode, man. Hey, listen, man, I'm getting older. I'm in my 40s now. I think there's a right and a wrong way to do a lot of things. And I think there's very productive and strategic ways to do things. And me being a black person in America, I'm black, so I'm going to talk about black people today. But, if you're a white, Latin, Asian, whatever nationality you are, and you just want to be an ally and a peacemaker, this conversation is for y'all too. But I'm going to specifically be speaking to black people, the black delegation, if you will, because it's just been disappointing, man, seeing so many of y'all arguing. It's been disappointing seeing y'all argue over something that could be very beneficial to us if we just collectively conversed and executed on one accord. And we're going to talk about that. But of course, promo, made in the 1980s. Apologies to anyone looking for the video episode on YouTube this morning. I'm trying to use different functions on YouTube, and it went left. I don't know what happened. Don't know what happened. I just know that my episode didn't. It was sitting there and it didn't upload, and I apologize for the late upload. But please check out the episode if you can. We're at 249 subscribers on YouTube. I appreciate all 249 of y'all whenever you decide to subscribe. So thank you. But more than that, more than everything else I'm just talking about right now, what I really want to do, man, is I want to offer some peace, some love, some grace. I want to uh, interject some positivity because I seen a big stir over this boycott that was happening on February 28th, the last day of Black Friday. I've seen videos about people that have participated, those that were not going to participate, and those want to argue about the people that are participating. So you can't really tell who's participating or not. So I think it's real important that I say something because I care, because I'm black and I care. That's the only reason why we're doing this live right now. I'm doing this live solely because I'm black and I care. I really do. And I see some people that I actually have love for, or just admiration and respect for. I seen them arguing and subliminally arguing, or whatever the case may be. So I want to take a different approach. And where I want to start is right here. I'm down to boycott. I'm down to boycott. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think the concept of boycotting is very powerful. It is. And with it being so powerful, we should use it as a means to be taken seriously. I do understand the people that are on the side of the fence of what does one day of boycotting don't do? Hey, listen, full transparency. That was the main conversation myself, my wife, and my mom got into the day before Friday. So it was Thursday. Yeah, if you know your days of the week. And because I'm down to do something more extreme than one day. But I do see the other side of the fence that says, man, who care if it's one day? Can we just stand in solidarity for 24 hours or nah? Very valid, very valid stance to take. I am not mad at that stance from anybody. And yesterday happened, whether you participated or not my concern, to be real with you. I've seen that now a white gentleman is the one that originally started this, and I think he used it for like GoFundMe purposes. Didn't really read about it. Don't care. He not black. I don't care. And then I saw that potentially maybe that idea, this concept, this movement by him, which was somehow Al Sharpton got involved. And I'll be clear, I don't do anything Al Sharpton says. Sorry. But then I heard some black woman from Threads is how this originally started. So, and that is important. Because if somebody black was trying to start something for us and then it gets kind of hijacked, then that's another conversation that we need to have. But that's not the conversation I want to have at this very moment. What I want to talk about is just the future. How do we move forward? How serious are we about boycotting places like Walmart, Target, Amazon, McDonald's? Which, hey, look, y'all know me. If you know me in real life, I've been anti-McDonald's for a lot of reasons. It ain't even because of DE and I. Like, listen, y'all should have been on my wave a decade or so ago. More than that, I've maybe eaten McDonald's maybe 7 times in the last 15 years, 15 to 20 years of that, because it's 2025 now. So that's where I'm at with it on that. But I want to reinforce this. I'm down to boycott. I'm prepared to take unbelievable stands too. I'm down to boycott. I'm with boycotting. I am pro it. As a method, to reclaim the power and respect amongst society. Often black people hear that, our dollar is the most powerful dollar. We have the strongest consumer dollar. We are the greatest consumers on American soil. We're the greatest consumers on American soil. We will buy. Our earning potential versus our spending potential is wild, to say the least. It's just wild. When we consume, unfortunately, it doesn't really benefit us. It only benefits us because of what we it only benefits us, like, casually or socially. Like, your gram is going up. Your TikToks, you look great because you got on these new products, or your birthday party. No matter what, when we consume at such a high clip that everybody benefits from the consumption of us, like even within ourselves, the consumption of us, we hate how much we consume. It's tough to find a win in the world of consumerism for black people. And that's unfortunate. And I am here in an effort to say I want to be an ally to anybody that wants to reclaim the power of the black dollar. I am here to say I want to be a friend and an ally to anyone that wants to start systematically taking down businesses that do not like us, that do not support us, that do not want to um, advocate for us, that don't want us to work there, that don't want us to serve there or be served. I'm here to say that I am with all of it. I'm with all of it. And I don't want to just talk because I got lips. I have a proposal. I have an idea of action. But the action is going to require us to be all hands on deck and to be innovative. Innovative as Black business, innovative as Black Americans, innovative as Black community. Because I do think it's important, especially when I see other people and other nationalities and other immigrants that come to this country and they build and they own off the rip. And all we do is patronize and we consume because the adage is true. The Latino dollar or the Asian dollar, the white dollar, it does stay within their community a lot longer. Sometimes the Black dollar doesn't stay in its own community for a day or half a day. It just doesn't. So we do need to figure out something. There does have to be some solution to how we can bridge our own gap. I think, and I want to say this, and please, I'm being respectful to us. I don't want to be on the attack of us today. We off that, please. Let's get off that. We should want to build and support and not compete. We shouldn't be trying to compete with white Americans, Asian Americans, Latino Americans, whoever, Russians, whoever. The competition, the competition is living and growing and building. The competition is growing old and leaving something for our children and leaving legacy. I'm not here to work just to say I'm better than a white person or better than a Mexican person or an Italian or Russian immigrant or a Native American or an Indian person or for Filipino. I'm not here to work in an effort to say I'm better than them. I'm working so that my daughter and Lord willing, if we have more children, I can leave them something to also own so that they can progress with their children. And if nothing else, hey, look, I have assets. I can sell a business. They can sell my business. They can sell my homes, and then they'll be fine with that as well. I would rather that, no matter what, as long as I do my part in keeping my family above the poverty line, I think I'm doing okay. And we don't seem to have our minds set on that. We seem to have our minds set on wanting to beat each other. And I just don't think that's productive. That's not productive in the way that we want to move long term. So I have a proposed idea. Because again, circling back to my original point, I'm all for the boycotts. I'm here for it. Let's do it, right? Let's get it done. But this is how I would implement it. City to city, state to state, county to county, one family at a time, My idea is that we boycott a specific business for 1 quarter. So there's 4 quarters in the year, 3, 6, 9, 12, 3 months at a time. So like March is going to be the end of the first quarter, right? April will start the second and so forth and so on. If we're serious about boycotts and reclaiming the power of the Black dollar, then hey, why not Q2? Why don't we agree that we're going to boycott Walmart? And then Q3, we're going to boycott Target. And then Q4, we're going to boycott McDonald's. or and then boycott Amazon, and then boycott whoever else, whoever has shown their hand to say that they don't respect us, they don't support us, they don't care if we shop or not, then why don't we collectively stop shopping there just one quarter at a time? We do that, and then we reclaim the power of our dollar one quarter and one corporation at a time, because people are right in the broader scale. You not patronizing a business for one day does affect it, because business is hard enough. Owning, operating, running a business is already hard enough. Regardless of what you see on social media, a lot of businesses are failing, and they are going to fail, and they are going to close, and they're not going to make it to 2, 3, 5 years. It's just not going to happen for them for one reason or another. But the most important reason why is because of the money management and the level of consumerism that exists at that business. So, you can open up a smoothie shop, because I don't want to be stereotypical. You can open up a smoothie shop, and it could be on the other end of your neighborhood, and maybe Smoothie King and Jamba Juice, or are in that community, and you open up your smoothie spot, and initially that first month, because you're giving out free samples, you're giving out mad discounts and things of that nature to bring brand awareness, and you kind of expect to take a loss, which is overall it's fine, because you're building the business. A lot of businesses are not profitable day one. Then when you do that, you then get back to reality, because the sales are over with. Now, how does the quality of your product, the awareness of your product, and the price of your product compare to Smoothie King? Like, how does it compare? What do you offer that they can't, don't, or won't? Because that is what's going to separate you from other businesses. A lot of people open up restaurants and have food trucks and all these brick and mortar places. I mean, hey, look, Turkey Leg Hut. That's been in the papers. I mean, the papers. I sound old in the mug. That's been in the in the news a little bit, off and on, lately, because it went from being one of the best things smoking in Houston, Texas, to not existing, or closing down, or being in turmoil. So, because you still have to run a business, but business is competing. A lot of people scale their business too fast. A lot of people think they're a business owner, so that means the work is over. No, it's just beginning. I'm learning as I build my vending business that entrepreneurship truly is a 24/7 on-call job. It is. It's just like being a doctor. It's just like being a surgeon, because every day, for at least 8 hours a day, if you're not where you need to be business-wise, you should be researching your industry. You should be researching the products of your industry, and the machines needed, and the equipment cost, and you should be, and you have to put in the work while trying to earn capital. All of it has to happen at the same time. And if you run out of capital, the business can't function. And if you don't have enough consumers, the business can't function. So you're back down to an idea. So we got to be more strategic, because we're brilliant people. We know how to cause a rift. We know how to We know how to cut through. We know how to make things happen. I think it just involves a slower pace. It's difficult if you really think about it. Even if you got $100 million, this ain't just for the working class. It's not just for the people making $30,000 or less that I'm talking to here. Even if you made $100 million, it would be very difficult to, on the drop of a dime, say that you're going to stop going to Walmart, Target, Amazon, McDonald's, so forth and so on, right? It would be very hard to do that. But if you picked one place to stop patronizing each quarter, they would definitely feel it. If we offer 90 days, for 90 days, we said, yo, we not going to Target no more. Target looks at their second quarter results and they're like, whoa, hold on, what's happening? Because that's a real bottom line impact. One day does make a difference, but that's for more smaller businesses. The ideology is not wrong. The ideology is not wrong for one day. However, it does, you got to take into account that one day, the smaller the business, the bigger the impact. I mean, look, we just survived the pandemic. If you're still here with us from 2020, listen, a lot of companies folded in a week of quarantine. Many more in the next 30 days. So we've watched how consumerism affects the economy, the American economy. We've also seen how businesses are ran on shoestring budgets. They're a lot of companies are MacGyver out here. They just putting stuff together because they really can't afford it. Everybody's buying on credit. Everybody's leasing. Everybody has consistent money going out and not enough money coming in, which also explains the wages. So, again, so we can't down the people that wanted to boycott yesterday because they do have the right idea. Their heart is in the right place. We've watched little to no time supposedly million and billion-dollar corporations start folding after 1 week or within 45, 60 days. Companies were folding in 2020. We have not seen some companies since summer of 2020. So they're not wrong. Here's the thing, though. If we're going to boycott, how do we replace what we don't own everywhere? That's the question that we need to collectively come together. We need to come together and we need to answer that question. How do we get together and create what we already don't own? So again, Walmart, we get them out the paint 1 quarter. But now, does your neighborhood, does your city, does your state have a store that is Black or minority owned or women owned, whatever you want to support in that under the umbrella of us? Where do you get your essentials now? Do you have a place to do that? Again, I believe boycotting McDonald's is super easy. Super easy. You should be able to find way better food, locally owned and operated, and potentially by a minority than going to McDonald's. I think that's the easiest one. That's the easiest one to get out the paint for me. But then next quarter is Target. And again, Walmart and Target are in the same space. So, again, where do we get our essentials? Where's our supermarkets? What are we prepared to have the Black or minority owned version of these stores? We talk so much about the civil rights movement and everything before segregation, because if you talk to a lot of our OGs, the elder blacks that have lived long enough to tell this tale, they're not so sure that desegregation was the right move for us. They're not so sure of it because every business that they patronized was black owned. The teachers that were in these institutions, our schools, maybe they didn't have a lot of money, but they cared about us, so we learned. Some of the most brilliant minds that we've ever had and some of the greatest inventors came when we supposedly had nothing, when we supposedly were the inferior species, but yet we got all the inventions. I believe Dr. Umar talked about this recently, but with the bus boycott. During the boycott, Black transit systems were thriving. People were making money. We were taking care of each other. But then all of a sudden, we get into a space where, they're allowing us on the bus, and now our transit systems start failing. There has to be a complex there. There has to be something within us that's like, why do we think that what's over there is just so much better than what we building and what we have? Like, why do we believe that so much collectively? Hey, I'm no better than any of y'all that's going to listen to this or watch this today or any other day. I've lived with that. Oh, dang. Maybe the water is colder over there. Maybe the fruit is fresher over there, but it's not, because we got to take care of what we got to take care of. That's the main thing. Let me go through my notes. Okay, so look, are we prepared to have Black or minority owned versions of these stores? Are we prepared to build Black owned supermarkets, credit unions, hardware stores? Where do we buy our essentials if we're going to boycott, if we're going to do this? Because I'm in. Off the rip, I'm in. I live in Middle Tennessee. I'm in Gallatin, Tennessee. And I want to tell y'all off the rip, I hate going to this Walmart by my house. I hate it. I hate it because specifically there's two women, a white woman and a younger Hispanic girl. And when I tell you that they speak to every person around me but me when I walk in that bitch, and it pisses me off. Like, the white lady will literally speak to every white person, and I'd be the closest one to the checkout. She cut her eyes at me, and she just go about her business, but she will speak and smile at everybody else in that damn store. And that pisses me off. And I would love to see her lose her job because people like me ain't shopping in there no more. I'll be that real with you. I'm no stranger to boycotting a certain place or taking a stand against a certain place. If anybody from Indianapolis is watching this and they know me from being in radio, hell, I almost lost my damn job not going to the Vogue because they kicked me and my man's J.R. Bang out of line and wouldn't let us in the club because our jeans were too baggy. I wasn't even wearing jeans that day. I had on some fly plaid pants. I tell you the brand, but y'all trying to cancel dude right now. And I had like a V-neck, a sweater on. I was fly as hell. Havana Joe's on too, though. Still doing it. And dude was like, our jeans are too baggy. So I wrote an article about it. I created a blog post. I posted it. City went on fire. City went up. And the Black-owned business I worked for, well, Black-operated business, I guess. I don't know. I'm not saying names, but they then came down on me and talking about how I shouldn't do that because I'm gonna mess up the money. Oh, but I work here and they're disrespecting me as a Black person. So I was like, I don't go there, and I stopped going there, and I don't. And I met the general manager that told the dudes in the line to put me out, and I still didn't walk back in that bitch, and I will not walk into there again. That's how serious I am if we're talking about boycotts. So I get it. I get it. I'm not opposed to it. I'm with it. I'm with us. I want to be crystal clear on that. I just love the solution, because the thing is about, like, in that very small scale for me, from a nightclub perspective, there's plenty of the places to go. I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to go in here and listen to this black music that you just learned about. Dog, I grew up listening to all this. I grew up. My mama put me onto this stuff that you playing in here. So I will never, as far as like nightlife goes, I will never let a white establishment disrespect me more than half a time before I'm never back in that joint again. So I would love to put that level of IDGAF onto some of these other places who hire people or who just stand by the fact that they don't mess with us. I would love to do it. I I I'm really just for the progression. At the same time, I don't think we have to be extreme. Yesterday, with the list of places to not boycott, we were extreme. We don't have to be extreme, but we can be consistent. I think that's important to know as well. We can be consistent. Um, one quarter at a time, one day at a time, obviously, but one quarter at a time. Again, pick a spot. You and your family take a stand. And if people ask you, then you tell them. You tell one family. The Underground Railroad wasn't successful because 50 slaves left at one time. One told the other, told the other, told the other, and whoever wanted to roll did, left. I mean, hey, even in that time, when freedom was the goal, somebody was throwing a wrench in the plan. Somebody had a better route. And there's always going to be infighting and conflict. Look, getting 100 people together to do anything, getting 10 people to do everything is a hassle. Have you ever tried to book a trip? Have you ever tried to plan a birthday party? Dude, trying to get 10 people to do anything is difficult, but understand the power with the people that get it. Hey, be prepared to move in silence, or be prepared to move low key with the people that want to move. You're not going to create a post and not get resistance. Shoot, you're not going to get through Thanksgiving dinner and not receive resistance. So be mindful of that as you are navigating, reclaiming the power of your dollar, and praying that the people around you do the same. I drive through Nashville and the surrounding area all the time. Again, I'm from Gallatin, Tennessee. That's the Walmart I'm talking about. If anybody is watching from the area, I drive through Nashville and the surrounding areas all the time, and you know what I see? I see a lot of supermercados. Mexican families that barely speak English own supermarkets and restaurants here. Some of them in the same building. Why don't we do the same? Just a question. If it's about pulling our money together, let's do it. I mean, again, it's important. You want to reclaim your dollar? You want to reclaim the power? You want to get some respect back in the society? We got to build something. We got to build more than we consume. I think that's important. I want to close by saying I love us. I love Black people. And I grow to love us the older I get, because I want peace and I want progression. And it's just things that I just get as I come of age. And to love us is to not want the infighting. And I don't want the infighting and the downing of each other. The most important reason why I don't like the infighting and I don't like the clashing of us is because it's hard to take us serious when we do that. When we can't get together and we can't agree on how to move or move as a unit, they don't take us seriously, you know. Beyond entertainment, especially. They don't take us seriously. You think about it. Miss Morale and the Big Steppers. Let's go Kendrick Lamar because I love talking music. Y'all know this. Kendrick Lamar, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. I think it's a very important album content wise for just Black people trying to unpack Black trauma. And barely anybody listens. However, not like us, gets him 5 Grammys. Why? Because he's in conflict. There's infighting going on within rap music. That's important to highlight. And look, and I'm here to say I like the songs or whatever. I got plenty of lives just breaking down, discussing all of it, but at the same time, look how much attention that got. Look how much the venom got over the fruit, you know. I want us to be taken seriously beyond entertainment. I'm even working on ways to do that myself, just on my own time. I'm learning the value of becoming more secretive and more apt to just getting myself into a more positive space, a more progressive space, a place where people are uplifting and building and growing. And sometimes, not even sometimes, a lot of times, that's going to come with very little conversation and a whole lot of action. And I pray that we get taken seriously before I die. I do. I pray that the infighting and the downing of each other is over with, and we can be taken seriously beyond entertainment. And I pray that I see the day that globally, skip it, because the globe is a big place. Nationally, I'm hoping that nationally we put ourselves in a position to where we're taken very seriously before I die. Now, I do plan to be 115, so we got some time on the clock. But just saying, I do pray. That is my prayer for us. And that's all I got. I don't want to beat people over the head with anything again. I hope this is received with positivity, with love, because this is really what it's about. Again, the title is the title for a reason. Let's have a productive blackout conversation, please. Or please, however you want to emphasize the word, because it is important. And I definitely hope that we do get on the same page. We do try to band together. We do try to make something peaceful and progressive happen for us, because we need it. We need it. We're so worried about these policies, and you're worried about presidents, but you're not really worried about your place in your house, your place in your community, your place within just the grand scheme of just this world, man. We are purposeful people. Straight up. We are purposeful people, and we need to start acting like it. Thank you so much for tuning into this live. Random live. I know usually is Saturday. I usually am lighthearted. I talk music, and it's usually later in the day. But we got Elimination Chamber tonight, so I got to watch a little wrestling. You dig? But sincerely though, please, view this, share this, like this, because I want to start a grander conversation, and I don't want to do the next one alone. Okay? So thank you very much again. I appreciate you. And just know that always and consensually, it's love.